Okay, hi everybody, and welcome to our webinar. I'm Julian Douglas. I'm the CEO of the CX Academy, and with me is Siobhan Mallon, who is our course director. And really today, I suppose we're going to try and do really four things. One is give you a little bit of an introduction into CX, what it's all about, customer experience. Secondly, tell you a little bit about the CX Academy, what we do when we're set up, what courses we have. And second and third is really to go through the courses. Siobhan's going to take you through the two courses, see which ones might be more applicable for you, and take you through some of the content, some of the great things in the courses, which we are very proud of. And also to tell you a little bit about the benefits of CX, really for you and your career. So I suppose if we get started, let me just tell you a little bit about customer experience and what it is. We define customer experience here at the CX Academy as how customers feel about all of the interactions that they have with your organization. Basically, it's an emotional bond that we're trying to create, and through various frameworks, which we're going to take you through and we're going to show you in a minute. It's really about trying to create and trying to tap into that emotional bond. A couple of things that we really like to sort of set out in the beginning is, one is really the difference between customer service and customer experience. Is probably one of the questions we get asked most about. And I suppose customer service really is all about the functional things. It's all about things working correctly. It's all about functionality. So it's about web forms working correctly. They work, websites crash, they don't crash, point of sale, equipment works, it doesn't work. That's really all functional aspects to the business that is just, you got to get it right. Customer experience, on the other hand, is all emotional. It's great emotions and it's poor emotions. So it's how customers feel, again, coming back to that word feel, after every interaction with your brand. So it's very much around the emotional side of things. And really the power, there's many different benefits, and the power for customer experience and how to sort of, if you manage to get customer experience excellence embedded in your company correctly, it'll do many, many things for your company. So one of the main things it does is it differentiates you from your competitors. We use this term sameness a lot in the courses. And sameness really is a condition nowadays where it's very, very hard to really differentiate yourself from competitors. Many companies are doing similar things. If you just look at the worlds of banking and insurance, it's very, very difficult to differentiate yourself. But CX allows you to do that by providing a really, really superior customer experience. You're going to be head and shoulders above your competitors. Customers will also stay longer with you, so there'll be increased retention. They'll buy more from you and they'll buy more often. So increased and repeat sales. And then really down to the sort of basic sort of fundamental of customer experience and what it is it's all about advocacy, and it's all about acquiring new customers through advocacy, and not as opposed to, but alongside other areas, like more traditional areas like perhaps marketing and advertising. But advocacy is very different, and I just want to explain to you the difference. Marketing really is kind of me telling you how great I am, or me telling you how great my company is. Advocacy is all about my friends, my colleagues, my family, people who have done business with me, all telling other people about how great my business is or how great I am. It's a far, far more powerful way of acquiring customers. If you just think about it, if you get a recommendation from a friend or a family member or a colleague about a business and how great they are, you're going to act on that far quicker than you would an advertisement or anything you see in online. So it's really, really important to
jump in there, I suppose, as well, just to point out, and hi everybody, thanks for joining us this afternoon. Hope you enjoyed the session. But just I suppose on your point around advocacy and the power and benefits of customer experience, I suppose it would be remiss of us not to mention the current situation and how that has changed in terms of COVID-19 and the impact that has had. And what we are seeing now is that customer experience is more important and more powerful than ever. Because if you think about your interactions with a company, you know, you're not as concerned about the functional things. You're concerned about, okay, yes, are they able to deliver? But in terms of, we're far more, I suppose, cautious about who we deal with. And we're going to pick people that we really trust and that make us feel secure and safe and feel that they care about us when they deal with us.
And as well as that, Siobhan, I think you probably agree that loyalty that is engendered, or loyalty that is created now, is going to be really strong going forward, because it's times like these when CX is so crucial.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we've seen, you know, in terms of, you know, there's plenty of research out there in terms of the impact of recession and the, and obviously, you know, we know what we're heading towards, but there is research that shows that companies who continue to focus on CX, absolutely, you know, I think it's 3 times the return on investment and 3 times increase in shareholder value compared to the companies who don't focus on shareholder value, or focus on CX, shall I say, in a time of recession. So now more than ever, it's the time to focus on it.
Okay, so reduce costs to serve customers. Obviously, there will be less complaints, less people contacting the company, and improve staff motivation. Again, there's more positivity in the company. Everybody is bought into customer experience. Everybody understands the customer-centric mentality. So it's great for motivation, for staff retention. And bottom line is it increases profitability. So we wouldn't be here and we wouldn't be doing this unless it increases shareholder value. And it's very strong at doing that. So this is the CX Academy framework. And this is fundamental to both courses. We have 2 courses, the professional certificate and the professional diploma course. And at the basis and at the ground level of both, it's all based around this framework. And this framework is made up of 6 emotional drivers. And these drivers go to the very heart of customer emotions and how customers feel. And what we aim to do is to teach you how, if you embed CX excellence correctly, you can absolutely relate everything you do in your company to each one of these drivers. And at the end, if you successfully integrate all of these drivers into your company experience excellence program, you will create a real bond with the customer. And the real bond means advocacy, and the real bond means acquisition of new customers through advocacy. It's a very, very strong framework. Siobhan will take you through it in a minute. We'll talk about it a good bit over the next half an hour or so. But basically, it's all about fundamental emotions that customers feel, like trust, like personalization, like making things easy for them, like empathy, like you get me, you understand genuinely what it's like to be in my shoes. And that empathy driver and that you get me driver is so important now in this COVID-19 scenario. Because if you can understand, and if customers understand that you are making a genuine effort and you actually understand what they're going through, that will create loyalty, that will create ongoing trust with your brand, and it will create bonds. And that's what we're trying to do here. You deliver on your promise is all about expectations and how you meet and manage customer expectations. And you fix things is all about resolution. And what we talk about many times during the course is how powerful resolution can be. In other words, how powerful problems can be. So the correlation, it kind of sounds like a bit of a paradox, but it's not really, because once you fix a problem brilliantly, and once you fix a problem remarkably, you create a far more loyal customer than if that problem had never occurred in the first place. So it's an amazing thing, and the power of problems and the power of being able to fix things great is really a good way of creating loyalty and customer advocacy.
Absolutely, and just to add to that before we move on from that slide, June, and I'll talk about this a little bit more when we talk about some of the assignments, but I suppose the power of this is in its simplicity as well. You know, this is based on years of research to understand what customers really, really value and want from the companies that they deal with, and what makes them recommend a company to others. And it boils down to these 6 things here in front of us, and we've weaved that throughout all of our courses, and showing you how to deliver on it in all of your interactions. So like I said, the power is in its simplicity.
Great. So why we set up the Academy, the demand for skills and knowledge is huge. It's difficult to get CX skills and CX knowledge. It's a really in-demand sector. The lack of career CX qualifications, there are very few qualifications or certifications that are worth anything that are out there in the market today. And we were getting such demand from CX practitioners and people even from sort of CEOs right down through marketing, through HR, L&D, and right down to sort of like customer care staff, demanding qualifications and demanding certification from us. It's a global reach. Obviously, these courses are globally recognized. And one of the most important things is the results are immediate. So once you start doing these courses, your company and you yourself will see immediate results. There's no kind of bedding in or waiting for these courses to get through the whole course. You will be enthused once you start them. It's not based on nothing. There is a tremendous amount of work and a tremendous amount of experience in CX gone into these courses. Michael Killeen, our chairman, has been in CX for about 10 or 15 years now. He actually started off with General Electric in the late 1980s, would you believe, in the CX department in America. So Michael is a very enthusiastic proponent of CX. Kathy, too, has been working as a practitioner in CX in companies such as Aviva Insurance for years and years, and now is one of our course directors. Siobhan, you can tell a little bit about yourself there.
Sure. So my background is primarily retail banking, but all customer experiences was my entire career of 20 years. I have worked either with the customer, managing customer facing teams and customer experience teams. I have a massive passion for both the customer and the people who deliver the experience to the customer. I did my MBA and specialized in empowerment, employee empowerment and customer experience. And I've been working with clients from across all different sectors, global, from national to global clients, to help them, I suppose, improve and deliver their CX strategies on our consultancy side. I did almost, when we were putting this presentation together, I did almost attempt to add up how many years experience we all had, but the number got embarrassing. So and was giving far too much away about our age. So I said I wouldn't do that, but I think it's fair to say there is an absolute wealth of knowledge across everyone within the organization that we've brought to this.
Okay. All the courses are industry advised and industry led. So we have an industry advisory council, which we think is comprised of the best brains in CX that we can muster. So we have everybody from LinkedIn, IKEA, Virgin, everybody from retail, online, digital, educational. We have many, many different areas here and banking and all kinds of different sectors here represented, which is really powerful for us. And our Industry Advisory Council sits 4 times a year, and they validate the course content. So representatives from all of these companies sit around a table with us and go through all of the content of the courses, validating it, that it is of a standard and that it is applicable to what they require in a CX candidate or in a CX department. And this is what we have ended up with. So we set the global standard for customer experience qualifications. We have, as Siobhan will take you through right now, we have 2 courses. We have one which is university accredited through Glasgow Caledonian University, and the other is industry led and industry certified through our Industry Advisory Council. So we really we're working in 25 different countries. We have thousands of people gone through these courses, thousands of graduates from 25 to maybe more than that now, probably up to 30 countries. And so I suppose, Siobhan, if you'd like to just take everybody through, like briefly, the 2 courses, the professional certificate and the professional diploma, and what we're trying to do here is help you to choose which course is more applicable for you. And take it away.
Excellent. Thanks a million, Julian. We, like Julian said, what we want to do is give you an overview of both of the courses, the certificate and diploma, and give you a flavour of each of them. There's a huge amount in this, so we're trying to squeeze a lot in, but obviously if anyone has any questions, either at the end of this we can do a Q&A, or you can contact us to ask any questions. But what we want to do is to give you a really good understanding of what's in both of the courses and which might be best suited to you. So I'll start with the professional certificate. And the professional certificate is made up of 6 modules. And I suppose what the certificate is really an introduction and a foundation to customer experience, but it goes far beyond that as well. So, if we look at module 1 there, we're talking about, the key concepts and principles of CX and the difference. Julian started talking there about the difference between CX and customer service. We talk about some other common misconceptions and other common terms and phrases that you'll see throughout the course as well. And we also, I suppose, in that module, manage your expectations in terms of what to expect from the rest of the modules. So we give you an overview of what's to come. In terms of module 2, we've got the impact of customer experience. So, there is so many benefits to customer experiences. Julian mentioned earlier, first and foremost, differentiation. Now more than ever, especially with technology, products and services are replicated overnight. So we really can't, companies can no longer, I suppose, compete on product per service or price, because they can all be copied and beaten very, very quickly and very easy. So being able to differentiate yourself through experience is really, really important, and one of the most important benefits of CX. We've also got, the improved loyalty and retention. Customers are going to stay with you longer or recommend you to people. But ultimately, I suppose, acquisition, advocacy and acquisition are, I suppose, paramount to CX. So, if you have a really good experience with an organization or with a company, and you recommend them to somebody else, you're effectively becoming their salespeople. And that's what you want from your customers. You want to turn them into salespeople. They will recommend you to other people and improve your acquisition without, I suppose, increasing your spend in traditional methods such as advertising and marketing. And ultimately, the ultimate benefit of CX is the return on investment for an improvement in shareholder value. And that's something that we're incredibly passionate about. And there is very clear science, which we get into in far more detail in the diploma, but in terms of how the investment in CX affects your bottom line, increases your profitability, and increases your shareholder value. So we talk about all of that here in module 2 on the certificate. Into module 3, and we talk about the framework. So Julian introduced you to the CX framework. That's our 6 emotional drivers that will help you to deliver CX excellence. Really simple, really easy to understand, but sometimes quite difficult to deliver. So that's where we come in and help you here. We give you the guide as to how to deliver on each of those emotional drivers. What are the skills and attributes that you need in your organization to deliver on them, to make sure that you have a best-in-class CX delivery. And we also give you, I suppose, global case studies in there of companies who are delivering on those emotional drivers better than anybody else that we can learn from. And we also, I suppose, give you, explain how you can use that to measure your experience, both from the staff perspective as well as the customer's perspective. So the framework really does work equally as well for staff as it does for customers. So that's module 3. Module 4 is customer journey. And this is, I suppose, in terms of the practicalities, this is where you're getting your really, I suppose, practical learning in here in terms of the customer journey mapping tools. The feedback that we've been getting from clients is that as soon as they did this module, they were able to walk away and do customer journey mapping within their organization, which is fantastic for us to hear, and exactly what we wanted to hear. It's what we want people to do. So you'll get your tools, your templates, and your guide as to how to do customer journey map and how to improve the experience. CX in action is all about CX in action within the company. So what does, I suppose, a customer focused company look like? What does the culture look like? The importance of involving staff and partners in developing your CX strategy. We talk about the role and impact of technology and data in customer experience. We also, I suppose, talk about metrics and the importance of measuring CX, measuring the experience, and being able to continuously improve on that, and being able to understand where you stand against your competitors. and against yourself at a different point in time. So CX is all about how it's applied within the organization. CX in action is all about how it's applied in the organization. Then we have module 6, which is the 4 stages to CX excellence, and that is all about the a strategy for bringing CX excellence to life. So we have in that a 4-stage strategy wheel or tool, if you like, which is, looking at the first stage, it's about getting commitment to CX and getting buy-in. Stage 2 is about building foundations and developing your action plans. Stage 3 is getting staff on board, through your training, your communications. And then stage 4 of that wheel, the final stage, is really about capitalizing on those benefits. So module 6 introduces you to, I suppose, a strategy tool that will help you deliver CX within your organization. So that's the 6 modules on the certificate. And then I suppose if we move on, just to tell you a little bit about the format. So it is, as we said, 6 modules, and with each module you have a video lecture, and you'll have presentations from myself and Kathy and Michael deliver the modules in certificate, and we'll have other external experts in Diploma. You've got your downloadable documents, so you've got your resources such as your summary documents, you've got your templates such as your customer journey mapping and your persona templates. You've external study and what we call our insights and inspiration. So this is where we bring you, I suppose, outside of the CX Academy platform and look at, really good articles and interesting articles that you can learn from outside of that. You have a number of assignments, which we'll talk more about now in a moment. And we have 6 revision assessments. So it's like, I suppose, a revision or a recap at the end of every module that aren't graded. It's just to help you understand, and ensure that you're, I suppose, taking in the learnings from each module. And then in terms of assessment, we have 2 assessments, one at the end of module 3 and one at the end of module 6, at the end of the course. They're multiple choice assessments and they're graded. Again, we have a little bit more detail on them in a second. So in terms of the assignments for the certificate, there's 10 assignments throughout the course. They're after each module in terms of helping you to really embed the learnings of that module and deepen the learnings from that module. They're not mandatory. You don't have to submit them back to us, but we really do recommend that you do them, actively do them, and that you actively participate and get other people to participate in doing them within your organization, because they actually will help you in terms of embedding and developing CX. So you can choose the ones that are most applicable to your business, but like I said, we would recommend doing all of the assignments if you can. This is just an example of the assignment number 1. So this assignment is the first assignment, number 1, and the assignment in the module are in the certificate. And this is really probably the easiest one to ease you into it, to ensure that you're understanding what CX is and why it's important. So what we ask you to do is to, I suppose, look at your own experiences as a customer and think about one that really had an impact on you, be that good or bad, one that was either so good or bad that you remarked on it, either recommended or didn't recommend, as the case may be, to friends, family or colleagues. So it could have been if you were setting up online banking. It could have been if you had a query on your bill with your utility company. It could have been when your most recent trip to the supermarket. Think about those experiences that you have on a daily basis as a customer. And what we want you to do is to assess those experiences and think about those experiences in terms of the CX framework. So think about, did the company get you? Did they really, I suppose, understand your specific circumstances and show empathy? Did they greet you by name and treat you as another human being? So did you feel like they actually treated you as an individual, or did you feel like just another number or another customer? Did they make it easy for you to do business with them? And if there was an issue, did they fix it for you? So I suppose ultimately, go through all of those 6 emotional drivers and think about how that organization performed against all of those. And ultimately, as a result of that, did you, I suppose, recommend them to somebody else, or did you speak negatively or positively about them? And do you think that impacted the people that you spoke to? So, you know, if you had a fantastic experience, did you recommend them to your friends or your families? Or if you had a negative experience, did you talk to your friends and family, say, look, you know, don't go there? You know, either way, it just goes to show the impact of customer experience and the importance of getting it right. So it's a short assignment. This one, it's only about an hour, we reckon, to do. Just jot down your notes, to think about your own interactions, and to really, I suppose, make sure that you're understanding the learnings from the first module. And then, I suppose, in terms of assessments for the certificate, there's 2 multiple choice assessments that I mentioned earlier, one after module 3 and another after module 6. And they are basically, they account for 100% of your mark, but each of them are equally weighted. But you have to get a minimum of 60% across both assessments. So if you get 55 in one assessment, you need to get 65 in the second assessment to make sure that you're getting your 60% across both. Now, to be fair, what we're seeing is that people are getting far beyond that. It's very doable, very achievable, and we're seeing a lot of people actually getting a distinction, which is 90% upwards across both assessments. So I'm sure that's where all you high achievers will be aiming for. So at the end of all of that, once you've done your 6 modules, you've done your assignments, you've looked at your insights and inspirations, you've, I suppose, really taken on board the learnings, you've done your assessments, and you get your certificate, which is this is what it looks like, and you have a huge sense of achievement. So that's the certificate. Again, at the end, I know there's some questions coming through there, so at the end we can go through those and answer anyone's questions. But to talk a little bit more about the diploma. So the diploma is, I suppose, a far deeper look into customer experience, and it's, as you'll see there, it's actually credit rated by Glasgow Caledonian University, so it's rated and on the European qualifications framework. So if you wanted to continue your learning past this is a recognized a diploma which you can bring with you internationally, absolutely anywhere, and it will be recognized, and it recognized by universities as well if you want to continue academically. So I suppose if we look at what is in each of the 10 modules, you've got, first of all, the foundation. So again, that's your key terms and concepts. Into module 2, we've got the framework. So that's an even deeper look into the framework in terms of what it is, how to use it. But we also, in this one, which is quite different to what we do in certificates, we go into the psychology behind customer experience. We've a business psychologist who supported us and who brought his learnings from an academic perspective and a psychological perspective to why the framework is so powerful and how you can capitalize on it. On module 3, champions of the cause, that is all about getting buy-in. So it's about getting buy-in support from senior leadership and everyone within your organization, including the key stakeholders and the influencers. And it's about really showing you, what we do in that is show you how to prove return on investment. We'll give you tools and templates we'll talk about in a moment to be able to prove to your senior management, to your CEO, to your executive team, that there is going to be a change, and a positive change to the bottom line as a result of investing in CX. And I think that's where a lot of, from the research that we've seen and that we've done, a lot of CX practitioners really struggle with proving return on investment. So this gives you a very clear step-by-step guide that I don't think you will get anywhere else. In terms of module 4, that's all about, I suppose, developing a customer-focused culture and how to do that, and how to empower staff to deliver world-class customer experience. So again, it's the how to. Measurement and benchmarking, again, it's guide to measurement and benchmarking, how to go about setting up your voice of the customer program, and how to use it, how to communicate it, and how to make sure that it's continuously driving improvements and change to your performance. Customer promise, it's all about developing how to develop your customer promise to make sure it's achievable, that it's inspirational, and it's believable and delivered. But it's believed by both your staff and your customer, that it is part and parcel of your reputation, and that it sets you apart from other organizations. So that tells you how to develop your customer promise and make sure that it ticks all those boxes. Channel harmony is an area that organizations, I don't think any organization can say they got this in one. Channel harmony is such a difficult thing to deliver. In this module, we talk you through, I suppose, how to how to audit your channel performance and how to develop your own channel strategy to make sure that your experience, regardless of what channel you're delivering your experience on, offers a consistent standard. It won't be consistent but in terms of, because every channel is different, but you have to make sure that you're delivering on that framework and those 6 emotional drivers regardless of the channels. This really gives you a guide to doing that. In terms of module 8, that's customer journey, and it goes into more depth here than in the certificate. Again, we'll give you the guide how to customer journey map, how to build your customer persona, and how to make sure that those actions are embedded within the organizations when you develop that. And we also within that talk about, I suppose, where our customer journey mapping fits in your overall CX strategy as well. Module 9, technology and digital and technology innovation. That is all about, I suppose, the principles of using technology in customer experience, what you as a CX practitioner need to know and what your role is in using technology in CX. We also give you a guide in terms of how you can use the framework to ensure that your technology delivers CX excellence as well. Module 10 finally is all about a passion for customers. So it's about the characteristics of companies that are passionate about their customers, how to hire for passion, what are the characteristics of employees, what are we looking for, and how do we ensure that that's part of our recruitment process. But the other part of module 10 that we have in addition to that is a guide, a strategy guide that pulls the learnings of all of those 10 modules together. And this, I think, to me, is what really makes this stand out. Coming from a CX practitioner role previously myself, there is no one-stop shop that tells you everything you need to do to develop a CX strategy. And that's what we do here. We pull that all together in module 10, the learnings from each of the modules, and we give you a strategy guide that you can use to adapt and deliver and develop a CX strategy within your organization. So to me, that it just really is stand out from anything else that's out there. The format is quite similar to the certificate. It's 10 modules divided into video lectures. You've got your downloadable. The difference here, I suppose, is that you still have your assignments, but these assignments are mandatory. So we've got 11 mandatory assignments, 1 for each module and an additional 1 in module 5. The assignments you do after each module, again, showing that your learnings are embedded, and actually each of the assignments, what we did was make sure that each of the assignments helped you in shaping and delivering your CX strategy. The additional thing that we have here in the diploma that you won't have in the certificate is your extra downloadables. So what we actually refer to it as, and we'll talk about in a minute, is our practitioner's toolkit. It's everything you need to develop and deliver your strategy. And then we also have our rating and benchmarking cards as well, which we'll talk about. So that's the format of the course. Like I said, there's 11 mandatory assignments, and all of them really do help you develop and shape your own CX strategy. So it's the feedback that we've got from people who are doing this is that it's like a roadmap for their job, especially people who might be new into a CX practitioner role, or people who are in an organization where CX is very immature, is just starting to emerge. That this course provides them with a step-by-step guide, and the assignments provide them with a step-by-step guide. This is what I like to refer to as a snippet of our practitioner's toolkit. So this is all of the different downloadable resources and tools that we give you to help you deliver a CX strategy. So you've got your summaries and key takeaways after each modules, which is your key learnings. We've got a rating and benchmarking card, and what that does is it looks at and we'll show you an example of that in a few moments, but that lets you assess where your organization is in terms of, is it developing, is it emerging, or are you advanced in terms of your CX strategy and delivery. We give you global best practice case studies of companies who are really excelling and we can learn from. We give you a template for helping you to benchmark your company using the CX framework. We give you persona builders. One of the standout ones for me is definitely the return on investment template that you can use to help build your business case for customer experience. You've got your channel harmony strategy framework, but also within that you also have your channel harmony audit as well to help you assess how you're performing on each of your channels. We've got your technology guide, so what you as a CX practitioner need to know, and key terms and a glossary in terms of the technology in CX as well. And ultimately in module 10, as I mentioned previously, we've got that guide, that ultimate guide at the end that ties all of the learnings together, brings all of the learnings from each of the modules, that helps you develop a really robust, really strong CX strategy. So this is the rating benchmarking card that I referred to. It's one of the downloadables. You will get a rating benchmarking card after each module, and that with this one you are this is for, I think, the module 3, and it's looking at, I suppose, 5 key areas, and you rate your company or your organization as to whether it's emerging, developing, or advanced, and it helps you, I suppose, focus as well. So the assessments for the diploma, there are 2 multiple choice assessments during the course, which count for 70% of your overall mark. So you'll do your 1 multiple choice assessment after module 5, and then you'll do another multiple choice assessment after module 10. They form 70% of your overall mark. And then you also, the remaining 30% is made up of the successful completion of your mandatory assignments. So once you have completed and passed all of your mandatory assignments, that's where that other 30% comes in as well. So it's very achievable, very doable, but very practical and lots to learn. So I suppose in terms of helping you to decide which course is right for you, and give you a little bit more breakdown, and I suppose probably this is more the functional side of the courses. So, you know, this is your comparison. This certificate is, you know, that foundation, a really comprehensive foundation in CX. It's self-paced, as is the diploma. You know, it's 18 hours direct learning, whereas the diploma is 80 hours direct learning. And obviously you can see the cost for each of them there as well. So there's, I suppose, really key differences in terms of the commitment that's required from both of these, I think, to be fair, but also probably the audiences that we're getting from each of them is probably quite varying. So for the certificate, we've got people who are frontline staff. So we've got frontline staff in contact centers, frontline staff in retail, and across every sector. And we also have CEOs of large and small companies who want to get a really good understanding of CX. They're not necessarily going to be the ones who are going to be developing the strategy, but they're the ones who are potentially going to be delivering it or need to understand it. Whereas the diploma, what we're seeing is it's people who are delivering a CX strategy within their organization. So, you know, and these roles are becoming more and more prevalent, and there's huge demand for them, but there's no, I suppose, robust CX qualification that gives you everything that you need in one place, and that's what the diploma does, and that's why it's so suitable for somebody who wants to move into that role, be it a CX manager, CX director, or chief customer officer, as those roles become more and more available.
One question here, Siobhan, you might answer at the moment is, we have a question in about the difference between customer success and customer experience. I presume they're quite similar.
Customer success, yeah, I suppose it's terms that are used interchangeably. Customer success management, I think it's the same thing. It's all about doing the best for your customer and making sure that they have a, you know, successful outcome. I think customer success is normally used as a term in the B2B space, but ultimately it's all about the same thing. It's about delivering for your customer, making sure that you're delivering on all of those 6 emotional drivers, making sure that they have a fantastic experience. As I said, it's normally a term that's used in B2B, more so than B2C, but customer experience is just as applicable in B2C as it is as in business to customer, as it is from B2B, business to business.
And I think as well, even from a marketing perspective, customer experience is becoming far more central now and far more important. And we're seeing so many people moving from marketing roles into CX roles.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think, you know, what we're seeing is that there's a huge demand for people with the skills, and that's what's lacking. Just people who have been, I suppose, working in the area for a long time, who have developed the skills, but maybe not have the certification or the accreditation to back that up. Or there's people who just have a passion or an interest in the area who want to develop that further as well. But we were seeing people from, you know, everyone from contact centers to marketing to operations. There is no area that customer experience isn't relevant to. Customer experience is about breaking down the silos across all parts of the organization. So I think, you know, no matter what department you're in, you know, you can support your organization by doing these courses and helping them to improve and deliver their CX strategies. So I think there's, I'm just conscious of time now. I know where are we? We're just at the 40-minute mark. So I suppose in terms of what you'll gain from each certificate, I've probably answered that, you know, throughout the previous slides, but like I said, the certificate is really that really a strong understanding and foundation to customer experience. It gives you the skills and tools in terms of customer journey mapping, and it gives you that really strong understanding of what the CX looks like within the organization. And it gives you, I suppose, the tools and skills to be able to talk to your senior leadership team and to be able to, I suppose, raise the profile of customer experience within your team, your department, or your organization. Whereas
it's a real confidence builder as well, Siobhan.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what we, like, one of the I suppose, the groups of people that we've seen come onto the certificate is a group of more empowered contact center staff. So this particular organization wanted to develop their contact center staff. They wanted to improve their, I suppose, their skills, but they also wanted to reward them. So they and they actually call these the super agents. So these are the agents who are further empowered to fix issues for their customers, and who are empowered to go above and beyond. And all of those super agents are doing the certificate, both to upskill, but also, I suppose, as a recognition of and reward for them as well. So definitely a confidence booster, definitely a skills booster, and something that's going to stand out in terms of your CV. And the certificate, or sorry, the diploma, should I say, you know, this has, you know, you can see there it's accredited rated by Glasgow Caledonian University. This is a really deep and broad understanding of the skills and tools that you need to not just understand and talk about customer experience, but to create a CX strategy, or to look at your existing strategy and say, okay, how can we make this better, and how can we improve it to help us improve our bottom line. You know, it's certainly a confidence booster. Again, you will have all the skills and tools to deliver a CX strategy once you finish this. You know, it really is that step-by-step guide to help you, as we say here, embed a world-class CX program. And it gives you the expertise and that piece of paper that's university recognized to say that, you know, you have the skills, you have the tools, and you can apply that in any organization across any sector that you walk into in any country in the world. It's universal. It really is. So I may be biased. I'm incredibly proud of what we've produced, and I think, to be fair, if we look at these are the graduates. Julian, if you want to go through some of the graduates and the feedback that we've got from some of our graduates there.
Yeah, as I say, we're in 25 different countries. We started in Ireland because that's where we are, but now we have Oracle, we have Salesforce, we have ING Bank all over the world who work with us and who are learners with us. We have Happy or Not, who are those, I don't know if many are familiar with Happy or Not, but they're those little buttons that you press in airports mainly and other places, where it's like, you know, little buttons to say if you're happy or not after an interaction. So they're a huge company. And if you want to move on, Siobhan, there
we go.
Just people are really happy with the courses. So we're getting sort of inundated with people saying how it empowers them, how sort of it makes their roles easier, how they're able to undertake tasks inside their companies now that otherwise they would have had to sometimes get consultants in to do, and how it's progressed their own careers. So we have some questions. We should probably wrap up shortly, Siobhan. I know we're going over, but we do have some
these questions. Absolutely.
Some questions. So one of the questions was about customer success role and customer experience. I think we've covered that.
Yeah.
So one of the questions was, do you have to do the certificate before you do the diploma? And the answer is no. And that's one of the main reasons why we're trying to do this webinar, is to let you see what level each course is pitched at, and let you decide yourself. It's absolutely no harm to start with the certificate. And in fact, we have many graduates who start with the certificate and move into the diploma and then do both courses with us. But if you are quite advanced in CX, or if you're in a CX role or in a rather senior marketing position, you might like to do the diploma first. But if you feel you'd like to start with the certificate, that's fine too. It's really about just trying to figure out where you sit in your own personal development and your own career, and figuring out what's best. But doing the certificate first will never be a waste of time. It will be really stand to you. Just to get a couple of other questions. What's the time frame for the certificate and diploma, or is it self-paced learning? It is, Nicola, it's self-paced learning, but we do work with you. So at the moment, everybody wants to work a little faster because a lot of people are at home and they're working at home. So we will work with it through you, sort of through you and help you move along at the pace that you want to go. The certificate is open for 3 months. Normally, it takes, we advise to spend several hours a week, so it takes about 6 weeks. And the diploma is open for in excess of 6 months. And normally we would expect you to take 6 months to do it. But some people are going faster right now, some people slower. We'll work with you. However you want to work, we'll work with you and make it happen. And Matthew asked about the having to complete the certificate before the diploma as well. And no, you don't, but you just need to try and figure out what level you're at. And if you want more help with that, myself or Siobhan or Anna, who is our colleague as well, can help you, and we can sort of email you back and forth, or we can talk to you on the phone and try and advise you. We'd be delighted to do that.
And we have a question around jumping straight into the diploma.
One person wants to know, can you pay in installments? Yes, absolutely, you can pay in installments. And we have a very special offer we're going to send out to all attendees of this diploma today. So after we finish this webinar, we're going to send you out a really special offer that's going to be quite exciting for you, especially around the diploma, but also around the certificate. So, and yes, absolutely, you can pay in installments. We completely understand that times are tough right now, but also this is a huge opportunity for your career. So yes, installments are definitely an option, and we'll help you with that. I'm a CX practitioner already. Should I just jump straight into the diploma? Yep, I think you probably should. What do you think, Siobhan?
Yeah, I think so. If you're in a role where you're already helping to develop and deliver CX strategy, the diploma is the course for you, I would say. Absolutely.
Tony wants to know, are the video lectures and presentations, will they be available to view at any time and watch again as he works in shifts? Yes, absolutely, Tony. They're watchable many times, and the whole course is what is doable. You can go back over everything, revise everything within that 3 month or that 6 month period. And to be honest with you, we're leaving it open for longer than three months, so you can go back. And as well as that, a lot of the tools and a lot of the resources on the courses are downloadable. And we have super revision products as well, which help you with revision, which are all downloadable. And you can make files at home or in your office, and you can go back and research them at any stage in the future. They all come with the course. And then another person said, I see your courses start this week, but I can only enroll at the end of the month. Yes, no, you won't miss anything. The course is self-paced. And we can enroll you now. What we're doing is we're enrolling people at any time. So we're also trying to keep people within groups, but it's not essential that you stay within a group. You won't miss anything, and we will make sure that we work with you and help you work at your own pace. But yes, you can start the course at any time, and that's a change we've made in the last 2 months because of the situation. So is the diploma certificate recognized in the CX industry? Yeah, very much so. As we were saying, the diploma is recognized, and the certificate are both industry recognized. They're recognized in 25 different, we're graduates from 25, 30 different countries, and the industry understands and acknowledges the CX Academy as being a preeminent source of learning in CX right now. So we're very confident about that, and yes is the answer, it is recognized. So, so I think that pretty much sums everything up. As I said, we'll send you out an email after this webinar, and there will be special offers for all attendees for our courses. We would love to have you on board. We are so proud of these courses. We think they are fantastic. They give you real practical capabilities in your own career and in your own companies, and we feel that you will absolutely benefit, and we're confident to say that. So it's goodbye from me, and thank you very much for attending.
And from myself, thanks everybody for your time. As Julian said previously, we are here if you have any questions on anything that we've discussed or anything that refers to you. If you want to discuss your own specific circumstances and what might work best for you, we're happy to have a chat. So feel free to get in touch.
Brilliant. So thanks very much, everybody. And thank you, Alison, for your kind comment. And from Sarah, thank you very much for your kind comments. Very good. Oh yeah, great job, guys. Kudos. I love that. Thank you so much.
Fantastic, excellent.
Okay,
enjoyed it. Take care, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care. We will hopefully see you soon. Thanks a million.
Bye-bye.